Hello, welcome back to our Daily Games series. This is my second video I'm recording with my new microphone, and I just found out right before, like literally a minute before I started recording, that in my last video, which was the Sporkle video that will go up later today, so this is actually the first video that's getting uploaded with my new microphone. I was speaking into the back of the microphone the entire video for 30 minutes and didn't realize it. So if you watch the Sporkle video later today, or you're watching this later and you've already seen the Sporkle video, the audio will sound very different. And then also on top of that, I don't have my boom arm yet to attach my mic to, so it's sitting on my desk. It's on a mic stand, but eventually it will be on a boom arm and it will be like right in front of my mouth, which should make it sound even better. And then once it's on the boom arm, I'm going to take like a whole afternoon and go through and tweak compression filters, noise gates, expanders, all that kind of stuff to try to make it sound as good as I can. So the next few videos for sure, there's going to be all kinds of jumping up and down in terms of audio quality. So I apologize, but regardless, even out of the box, this should sound significantly better than my headset microphone did. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and get started? I will say, since I don't have my boom arm and it's just sitting on my desk right now, typing might be kind of annoying in terms like it might pick up some shock from my desk. But hopefully it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and get started. I can tell you right now, this is Laos. There's no need to even discuss this further. One of the most distinctive looking countries in the world. So that's cool. Why don't we... Oh yeah, I forgot that since we switched to Chrome, we lost all of our stats. So day 2, 2 first guesses. That's the best start you can hope for. Let's move on to Globle. Excuse me. I will have to figure out, like, maybe I can set up a hotkey to quickly mute and unmute myself, because with my headset, I could just lift the mic up, and then it would automatically mute. But with an actual microphone, that's not really an option. There is a mute button on the microphone, but I don't want to have to, like, reach down and push that button every time I want to mute, because sometimes if it's a sneeze or a cough or something, it's hard to react that quickly. So just being able to, like, push a button on my keyboard would be very nice. Let's jump in. We've been in Africa 2 days in a row. We have yet to be in the Western Hemisphere, have we? I feel like we haven't been. So let's go to like Honduras. 9,000 kilometers. That's not considering how far away the other side of the world is. You know, this could be like Uruguay, but I'm gonna guess that it's like Europe or West Africa. I think across the Pacific would be a lot more than 9,000 kilometers away, even if it was like New Zealand. So let's jump over to Portugal. That's pretty close, 1,300 kilometers, 1,392. Let's go Denmark. 840 kilometers. Okay. I like how they grayed out Greenland, because that is part of Denmark. I appreciate that. I kind of wish they had made it the same red as Denmark, but that might throw people off. Oh, the globe broke. We were on such a good streak, and now it's broken again. From Denmark, less than 1,000 kilometers. So we learned last time... What was it? Bosnia and Herzegovina to Lithuania was roughly 800 kilometers. So this will be about the same length. So why don't we do Slovenia? 300 kilometers away. Okay, that's still not super close. So let's go down to like Bulgaria, maybe. Okay. That's even further away than Denmark is, somehow. So it must be to the west. So let's try Switzerland. Switzerland borders this country, so that means it could be Liechtenstein. It's not Germany, because Germany borders Denmark. It's not the Netherlands. It's not Belgium. It's not Luxembourg. It could be France. Could be Liechtenstein. Could be Italy. Could be Austria. But I don't know. It wouldn't be Austria, because Austria borders Slovenia. So does Italy, for that matter. And this was... I don't remember how far it was from Slovenia. Like 100 kilometers? 300 kilometers? So let's do... France, I guess. No, France, it's not 800 kilometers from the southern border of Denmark to the northern border of France. I feel like it has to be Liechtenstein. It was Liechtenstein. Okay. We applied some logic there and figured it out. That's pretty good. Took us 7 guesses, which was the same number we had yesterday, so our average is still at 7. I suppose it's better to stay the same than to regress. We've got some cigarettes. No idea. I don't even have a guess. I'll say Ghostbusters. Whoa. Maybe Bad Boys? I can't tell. I'm trying to figure out, like, what decade this might have come out. I can't really figure it out, but maybe this is 21 not 21 Days Later. I don't know why I was typing that. 21 Jump Street is not on here, apparently. Okay. In that case, I have absolutely no idea. This obviously is not Clueless either. That cop car is freaking me out a little bit. I'm just trying to get... Okay, I'm just going to click on Manderley. I don't even know what that is. But I'm just trying to get to my next clue. Is that John Goodman? No. I think he's too old. As in John Goodman is too old, not this guy's too old. I don't even know what... Bro, I'm getting very frustrated with how few movies are available to be guessed. I actually meant to say Animal House, not Roadhouse. Of course, Animal House isn't an option either. You know, let's just go with Dollhouse. I don't know what that is. This is not going well. Is this Weed? It looks like it is Pineapple Express. Okay. I have seen Pineapple Express, but I was about 12 years old the one and only time I saw it. I don't remember it really at all. Okay. Yeah, this kind of vaguely rings a bell. Show guesses. Oh, okay, so it actually shows what you guessed. Okay, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say I'm proud of that, but I'm just glad we got it. But I'm getting frustrated. Like, none of the movies I want to guess are ever available to actually guess. All right, the Russian Cossacks advance over the Urals to the Pacific to Okhotsk. English astronomer Jeremiah Horrocks makes the first successful prediction and observation of a transit of Venus, and Italian-born Cardinal Mazarin, nuncio, an ecclesiastical diplomat, to Paris and advisor to Cardinal Richelieu, is naturalized French by letters patent. In December, he leaves the service of Rome to enter that of King Louis XIII of France. That was a very wordy clue. Okay. Click here to hashtag gimme direction. No, that's baby shit. Why would I ever want to do that? All right, so Louis XIV, the sun god. Okay, hold on. Let's work backwards. Louis XVI, the last king of France, or at least the last pre-revolution king of France. The French Revolution was in 1789. He had not been king for that long. I think like 10 years at most. So Louis XIV would have been in the late 1600s, I suppose. So let's try early 1600s for Louis XIII. I don't know. I feel like the French, especially in this time period, tended to keep names the same. They were already at Louis the 14th they were already at Louis the 16th before the end of the 18th century. Whereas in England, I think the only person who would have been even close to that, there's no, even today, there's no regnal name that's in double digits, as far as I'm aware. Like, Edward is at 8, William is at like 4 or 5. Yeah, and they were up to almost 20 Louis. So I think Louis is a pretty common name. So let's try like 1623. We're within 40 years. So 1666 to 1583. I think we should go backwards a little. Well, this is only 3 kings. You know, at 3 lifetimes, let's say the average for a king, this is purely off the top of my head, I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's say the average for a king was like 60 to 70 years. Louis the 16th was not an old man by any means when he was executed. So if he assumed power between 1775 and 1780, let's say Louis the 15th was in power for like 50 years, 1730, then let's say Louis the 14th reigned for a long time. So let's say 50 to 60 years from him. That would put us in 1680-ish to 1670. So maybe we should go forward a little bit. Because I actually don't know. I don't think Louis the 15th reigned that long. Let's go like 1654. Still within 40 years. So that does tell me we went in the right direction. Because... Well, wait. Does it? So the earliest it could be now would be 1614. Which was 9 years. So that's still... I'm confused. How are they both within 11 to 40 years? Unless they're both... It must be between these 2 dates. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what that means. So, let's go like 1638. 1 to 2 years off. Okay. We've had some pretty good, or pretty lucky guesses when it comes down to getting... I feel like most of the time we go from 11 to 40 straight to 1 to 2. We rarely go into the 3 to 10 range. So it could be 1636 to 1640. Let's go 1637. 1636, 1639, 1640. Well, now it can't be 1640. So it's either 1636 or 1639. Let's go with 1639. Dang it. There we go. Cool. That's pretty... I mean, that's pretty good. We actually used our knowledge of history to get an approximate time period. We got within 40 years on our first guess. And then we got a lucky guess, got within a couple years, and we got the whole shebang in 5 guesses. And that I think that's... Once you get prior to like the early 1900s, late 1800s, that's about as good as it gets for someone with my knowledge of history, which is like very enthusiast, but not necessarily expert by any stretch of the imagination. And here we are on Actorle. All right, so they're in a movie from this year. I wonder if it's out. Comedy drama 7.4. That's a very long name. I feel like the only comedy I can think of from this year is Jackass Forever. And this is not Jackass Forever. So let's see what else we got. 93, 95, drama, romance. Lots of tons of romances. Ooh, this could be a tough one for me. 2006 fantasy. The 2013 biopic. The fact that they're in a movie this year and I like don't even have a guess as to what the movie might be is very upsetting to me. Let's zoom in one tick, maybe. All right. This is the most stumped we have been right out the gates, I think, because I think every video we've done so far, we have figured out a movie early on. Nothing low on IMDb. Everything's in the sevens, but nothing in the eights, which tends to be the threshold for like something IMDb really loves. You know what I mean? Like Inception's a freaking 8.8 or something insane like that. Um, 2003. I literally yesterday I listened to a episode of the Big Picture podcast. They did a 2003 movie draft with 5 people. They drafted 30 movies from 2003. Surely this was one of them. Except the only two comedies I remember getting drafted were School of Rock, which this is not, and Old School, which this is not. Um hmm a weird 8-year gap from 2013 to 2021, which is that's like, if I had to pick 8 years I know the best, it would be like those years, because that's when I graduated from high school, then I went to college, and then I had my post college young adulthood in that time period. That's when I was most tuned into movie culture. No, that's not true. I mean, it is true. Because that today is basically still part of that time period. I was going to say I'm more tuned into movie culture today than I ever have been. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, a bunch of rom-coms maybe, but these only a couple of these say comedy. Most of them say romance drama. I don't have a guess. I think, given the fact that they ripped off 5 straight romance movies in this decade, and then kind of looks like they haven't been in very much since, makes me think this is a woman, given the way Hollywood treats women. Now, I'm trying to think women who started in the early 90s. I haven't seen a bunch of 90s rom-coms, or many rom-coms in general, for that matter. I don't think this is Meg Ryan. I think she would be in movies before 1992. I also don't see Sleepless in Seattle or anything like that. I also don't think Meg Ryan has been in anything recently, at least not anything that would have a 7.4 on IMDb. A crime adventure comedy from 2021. I feel like I almost certainly saw this movie last year. I watched over 100 new releases in 2021. Then again, when I said that about Tilda Swinton, there was another movie from 2021, and it was The Souvenir Part 2. Maybe the number one movie from 2021 that I didn't see, the one that I'm most ashamed of, and I still need to get to it. The Souvenir Part 1 is incredible. It's not called The Souvenir Part 1, it's just called The Souvenir, because I don't think they were planning on making a Part 2. Or at least, maybe the studio wasn't. Maybe Honor Swinton Byrne, I think, is the name of the... Now I think I'm maybe just making stuff up. I don't know. Anyway. Souvenir, good. I'm sure Part 2 is also good. Crime comedy. What in the world? This is a disaster. I feel like I could be here for 30 minutes, and I really don't want that to happen. I don't want to have to edit this video. It's so late. It's 2:27 a.m. right now, because I've watched 4 movies in the last 24 hours because I have a diseased brain. It's my day off. I'm off on Tuesday and Wednesday, so this is basically Friday night or Saturday night for me. And I've in the last 24 hours I've watched last night I watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Because this all builds up to me seeing the new Fantastic Beasts movie. Then after lunch today, I watched the first half of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Then I went to the movies and I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Absolutely mind-blowing, incredible movie. One of, like, in contention for my favorite movie of all time. You might think that's recency bias. You're wrong. It's unreal. You have to go see this movie in theaters. Please go see this movie in theaters. I just saw my mic peak a little bit. I apologize if this is too loud. Like I said, the audio is going to be in flux for a couple of days, but it will get sorted out over time. Then after I finished Everything Everywhere All at Once, dried my tears, because that movie had me sobbing in the theater. Came home, ate dinner, finished Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and then at 10:30, I went and saw Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Didn't get home until 1:30, because that movie's 2.5 fucking hours for some reason. I could do a 90-minute podcast about... I could probably do a 90-minute podcast about the Fantastic Beasts series and, like, all my thoughts on that, and I could also probably do at least, like, an hour-long podcast just on the new movie as well. But I'm not going to subject you to that. Anyway, it's very late, and I'm very tired, and I don't want to edit this video, so naturally I just spent 2 minutes adding unnecessary fluff. Man, I have no idea. I'm so mad at myself. I can't think of I can't figure out a single one of these movies. These are all, like, weird years. Like, I know way more about 2007 movies than 2006. I know way more about 2013 movies, or 2014 movies than 2013 movies, I feel like. 2021 and 2022, there's no excuse for me not to know this. And then, 03, I literally just listened to a almost 2-hour-long podcast about this movie year yesterday. They talked about 30 movies. Come on. "2022. That's a long title. 4 letters, 4 letters, 2 letters, 3 letters, 3 letters, 6 letters. What have I seen this year? I've seen Scream. I've seen The House. I've seen After Yang. I've seen Secrets of Dumbledore. I've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've seen Ambulance. I know I've seen more than that. I've seen around 10 new movies this year, I think. I haven't seen Kimmy yet, but this is obviously not Kimmy. Comedy? This isn't The Bubble, and The Bubble ain't got a 7.4. Bro, what is this? And this one is even more confusing. An adventure, comedy, crime. I guarantee you I know what, like, all of these movies are. They're all in the 7s. There's not a single bad one in here. The of something. All right, I just gotta send a guess. Who is a woman from the 1990s who was in a lot of romance movies? I don't even know, because I don't watch these movies. I would like to watch these movies, to be honest with you. I just haven't. Julia Roberts, I think, is too old, because, like, Pretty Woman was in the 80s. But maybe she was in one of these movies. She was not. Hold on. This person is older than 54 years? Are you serious? That is very shocking to me, but that actually could swing some things for me. So, could this be like Meryl Streep? I mean, Meryl Streep would have a lot more movies, and I also would recognize some of them. I'd see, like, Julie and Julia. I'd see... Wait, hold on. No. That is a biopic comedy that came out around this. I think Julie and Julia was maybe more like 2010, 2011, 2009, something like that. I think because I saw that in theaters with my parents. I was not going to the theaters with my parents in 2013. I would go with my dad occasionally, but I don't think I've been to a movie with both of my parents since the Bush administration, to be honest with you. Maybe like the first year of Obama's presidency. let's... Who else? Let's do like Jennifer Coolidge. I am reading this right, correctly? Like 60 years is less than this person's age? What in the world? How old is this person? Who's in... I mean, this could be a man. I don't know. Is the red telling me that's the wrong gender? I don't actually know. Because I normally don't even have to think about that. I guess actor's age is displayed with green if it matches, yellow if it's within 10 years, red with if it's more than 10 years. It doesn't say anything about their name. So they're between 54 and 64. So the 60 doesn't really help me. Because that just tells me they're between... Well, actually, no, this tells me they're between 44 and 64. And this tells me they're between 50 and 70. So... Excuse me, they're really within 50 to 64. Maybe Colin Firth is too old, I think. I think. But I'm going to guess him anyway. Okay, they were in Love Actually. That was one of the movies talked about on that podcast, of course. The problem is there's 12 billion people in Love Actually. Alan Rickman, Emma Thompson. I might go Emma Thompson. It's Emma Thompson. That is a miracle from God. Because, okay, yeah, this makes sense. She was in all these British romance movies in the 90s that I've never seen. Let's go through these. I've never seen Howard's Inn. Heard it's a banger. Obviously, it's Shakespeare. It's a banger. Is this Shane Austen? Now I'm embarrassing myself, but banger. I've heard of this. I know nothing about it. I love Love Actually. I know that it's easy to make fun of. I think British people are always like, do Americans actually like this movie? Even the people that were in the movie are like, do people actually like this movie? I like that movie. I've seen Saving Mr. Banks. Not great. She was in Cruella. Yes. Good luck to you, Leo Grand. Okay, that explains why I couldn't think of this. That was a Sundance movie that got very good reviews. I'm excited to see it, but it has not had a wide release yet. So that explains why it didn't come to mind. Cruella, I maybe could have thought of, but I did see over 100 movies last year, and I think Cruella actually got shit on a little too much. Cruella was a lot of fun. I would say of the live-action Disney projects of the last 8 years, it might be my favorite. I think it is definitely the best. Anyway, yeah, that's Emma Thompson. That's Actorle. I think we've cleared 20 minutes for the first time in like a week. We're almost at 30 minutes. This was a doozy. So yeah, that's our daily games today. I apologize for the long runtime. Please let me know if how the audio is sounding, especially now that I have my microphone facing the right way, but also keep in mind it's going to change quite a bit tomorrow, hopefully, because I'm going to get my boom arm, and then also I'll have to spend a few days tweaking settings and whatnot. So your feedback is greatly appreciated. If you're like, hey, it's too loud, hey, the beginning of words is getting cut off, your filters are too strong, things like that. I will try to listen to it myself, but it's always helpful to have multiple points of view. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe if you are enjoying this content. This is by far my most successful series in terms of viewers, impressions, click-through rate, average view time, all of that. I mean, it's still very, very small because I have a microscopic channel, but this series seems to be doing something. So a like and subscribe, comment, pump those metrics. It means a whole lot. And I'll see you guys again next time.